Look at us now. We are here at Mother's North in Timonium. Kirk McEwen along with Dave Rather, Mom himself, and we were at Stages doing this, and we decided let's bring it on the road.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real busy night here at Mother's North, so we're excited that everybody is here celebrating, and excited to try a new format for the Mother's Podcast.
There's a lot going on tonight here. What do you got, trivia, and what else, Dave?
We got karaoke. It's been a busy day. We were slammed for lunch today, too. It was packed. I don't know if the rain brought people out.
Yeah, and you know what I was asking you, do some of the staff get nervous when Mom's walking around? You got the head mother here.
Yeah, we should ask them if they do, but typically if they're new and young, they feel a little nervous or pressure to do everything the right way.
Listen, we got a lot going on. We got real fan Dan Granofsky from the Baltimore Ravens games. He's always up there. He's taking pictures of people, having a good time right now. Also, we got some food coming out a little later on. So much great food here at Mother's North. I was at Mother's Peninsula on Monday after Boardwalk Rock. Stopped in for some jambalaya. Mwah! Awesome.
George Porter Jr., jambalaya.
A little Boyd burger. Hey, and you were I was at Boardwalk Rock. I'll talk about that in a second, but you've been to Jazz Fest in New Orleans an unheard of amount of times. How many times?
30 times.
In a row.
30 times in a row.
Without fail. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I fall in love with something, I keep doing it, and there's no reason not to go. I put it on my calendar every year, and, I just plan around it, and it's such a special time and such a special festival. I'm never going to miss it.
I had a hard time with all the walking at Boardwalk Rock.
Yeah.
Is Jazz Fest, I went in 1994. By my calculations, that was your first year.
Yeah.
How are you getting around down there?
It is a lot of walking, we don't really do the chair thing. A lot of people do and kind of make it a home base. But we're typically walking around all the different stages. But we'll take a break in like the jazz tent or the blues tent.
Yeah.
Get out of the sun and be able to sit down. But yeah, we're a little worn out, and as we get older, it's hitting home a little more. So we got to pace ourselves, because then we go out all night too. So,
for real?
Yeah, we go out, go home and go to sleep, take a little nap, take a shower after the fest till like 10 o'clock, and then we're going back out from like 10 till 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, there's some shows that don't start till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll sleep from 7 till like midnight, and then go out from like 1 till 6 in the morning.
Give me a highlight or two from this past Jazz Fest.
This past Jazz Fest was great. I was a little sick going into it, but made it through. Some of the highlights were, the first night we were there was an all-star band at Tipitina's with all the New Orleans legends, but Dave Matthews came out, sang Sledgehammer, which was really cool, by Peter Gabriel, and then Mike Gordon from Phish came out. So that was a really cool thing. And then something that we do every year, the Soul Rebels brass band play at this little bar called Le Bon Temps Roulé.
Le Bon Temps Roulé, woohoo!
Let the good times roll.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny little place. It holds about 100 people. There's barely a stage. It's about as big as this table. And it's a brass band that's just in your face. So much fun. And that's what really New Orleans is all about.
They're probably like, Dave, what's going on, man? How's Maryland, dude?
Sometimes.
Hey.
We just had Rebirth through, and those are great guys. They just played 8x10, and they're a lot of fun. So we got George Porter Jr. and John Grow coming May 29th to Record Theater.
Yeah.
So bringing a little New Orleans music to town.
Wow, May 29th, huh? That's going to be sweet. Hopefully this will be up by then. Yeah. You're probably already booked for Jazz Fest 2026 already.
Almost. I have a hotel that we stay at every year, and flights don't come out till like 6 months out. But I literally book that far in advance just because we know we're going and just get the cheapest rates.
How about Ocean City with this Ocean's Calling, Country Calling, and now Boardwalk Rock, which was sold out, 55,000 people strong.
C3 is doing a great job producing those events. I went to Ocean's Calling last year. Obviously, you were at the Boardwalk Rock Fest this year, and they do a good job. It's a great venue down the boardwalk there, and keeping in all the boardwalk bars and restaurants, being able to see bands right there on the beach. It's a lot of fun. What was your highlights at the festival this year?
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Wolfgang Van Halen.
Nice.
We had him at the Lazy Lizard, no, actually Dead Freddy's on Friday. A monsoon came through. We were all set up outside. Then we had to move everything inside. Then we went back outside again, more rain. But Wolfgang came in, and he had 2 members of Mammoth. The guy can really sing, and he was doing that tapping thing on his acoustic guitar. He did the distance for his dad, and I'm starting to cry. You know what I mean? You know what? I've only cried a couple of times on the radio. One of them was when Eddie Van Halen died. I knew he was sick, but the news just took me for some reason.
Yeah, he was pretty young. Pretty young.
Yeah, 65 when he died.
Such a legend. But
yeah, Eddie,
huge Van Halen fan?
I mean, it's not like I ride around listening to Van Halen all the time. I just loved his spirit, the way he smiled all the time when he was playing, and stuck that cigarette in his guitar, whatever that clef thing is.
Yeah.
I should know that. I'm in a band.
Yeah.
Arpeggio or whatever. That and let's see, Rob Zombie, who said I shouldn't even be here.
Right.
But he was. And then I hopped up and did one with with Doc Martin and the Flannels.
Did you? Cool.
At the Purple Moose.
Okay, at the Purple Moose.
Yeah, well, not on one of the big stages.
Okay,
Come on now.
All right. I'm like, I didn't see their name on the bill.
No, I did not make that bill.
Yeah, they're. I love those guys. They're great.
Yeah,
Billy's awesome.
I didn't realize when I walked into Mother's Peninsula probably 2 or 3 years ago, and Billy said, I'm the lead singer of Doc Martin and the Flannels.
Yeah.
I didn't put it all together. And then I'm standing there, I'm like, that's my bartender up on stage.
Yeah.
He's got such a great style on stage. The place was packed, sweating.
Yeah.
People were getting into it.
Yeah.
So it was like you had the Thunder stage, the Bolt stage, there was a smaller Lightning stage, and then Purple Moose inside. They had Surreal on Friday, and then Doc Martin and the Flannels on Sunday.
That's smart. That's smart that they did that and draw the crowds in there.
Oh yeah,
I've seen his band at Purple Moose.
Yeah,
that's such a classic.
And
Ocean
they renovated it a little bit. And
it looks nice.
$10 to get in until it's crowded. Then it's $20,
right.
And then if it's too crowded, it's like $40 to get in.
Yeah,
somebody's going to pay it.
Yeah. But you went all 3 days. You just go one day.
I was there. I got there Thursday night. Friday, we did our show from Dead Freddy's. And then Saturday, I had Hey Dudes on, walking around. They couldn't hold up. So Sunday, got the Adidas out.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, got pulled over.
Oh, no.
State trooper's like, you know why I pulled you over? Never tell them you know why, Dave. No. And always call him trooper if it's a state, not officer.
Yeah.
71 and a 55. But I said, I'm just coming back from the beach. I was working. He said, what were you doing? I work at 98 Rock, and we did Boardwalk Rock. He said, I'll be right back. He got a warning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
you're going to have to give him a little shout out.
Hey, state trooper in Dorchester County. Love you forever. I didn't put his name out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a strong weekend. Now getting back into the flow of things. Got some events coming up, and I'm just excited to be back. Being down at the beach wiped me out. Yeah. I mean, that's a younger man's game.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
It's a lot of walking.
How many years do you think you'll be going to Jazz Fest?
I mean, I think I'll go forever, but we'll probably slow down and do more of like, a seated Jazz Fest rather than walking all around. I
love the fact that we live in the same area, and so does Real Fan Dan. I mean, we're all cut from the same cloth.
The Dina.
The dirty Dina. That area is really big.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like 3 post offices.
Yeah, Pasadena's huge.
Yeah.
And then Irv's. You need to check out Irv's Basement Bar.
And if you could tell everybody what it's about.
So, Irv.
It happens.
Irv's Basement Bar is this cool little bar in Pasadena near my house. The guy's been running it for like 80 years. He's 100 years old. He's the bartender. You know, it's a real basement bar.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little place with like 9-foot ceilings. It's got bras and panties on the ceiling. But it's just got so much atmosphere. It's very cool, and one of the few basement bars left in the whole state. And you know, once he passes, they won't continue it because it's been grandfathered in. So we got to go before, you know. So he's getting up there.
Oh my goodness! Maybe somebody can take it over after him and keep the ball.
No, they can't. They can't. Once he goes, it's over. He's 101.
101 and still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I like
still bartends.
You told me something I thought was funny. You order a drink and it might be one price, and then next time you order it, it could be a little different price.
Yeah. We get a Captain Morgan and Sprite. One time it's $3. The next time it's $4. It's still cheap. They don't really care. And he's so funny that you know, he's flirting with my wife.
I love it.
And you know, he's just got so much spirit and energy for an older guy. You know, you just got to appreciate it. So
you better stay on your game.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to sample some of the great food here at Mother's. Also, we've got, as I said, Real Fan Dan here. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, man.
And a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is.
Excited it's a packed house today.
Dude, the place is full. And it's beautiful out here. Look how big that screen is. Do you have any numbers on how big that screen is?
It's like 20 by 20.
Oh, mine at home is 18 by 18. No. So I knew I was close. All right, we're coming back with more live from Mother's North here in beautiful Timonium, Maryland, a place you can feel at home on the Mother's Podcast. Dave, Mother, it's great to have our next guest here. His real name is Dan Granofsky, but everyone knows him as Real Fan Dan from the Ravens games. Give it up for Real Fan Dan out here.
All right.
Ravens fans.
Lots of fans of Real Fan Dan.
So, man, we're so happy that you could join us today. How did you come about being Real Fan Dan? How long has it been? And where did the idea come from? Where did it germinate?
All righty, boy, that's a big question. So I've been doing it since 98, the third game of the 1998 season, so that's 27 years. And guys, I'm here for you. I'm here for the fans.
Yeah.
I am here continuing the tradition of Baltimore tradition of chanting the letters of our team's name, and it goes back to 1957. Colts, Orioles, Ravens, and the CFL Stallions did it too, right? So I've been doing it for 27 years, and I was born and raised in Baltimore, and when I was a kid in the 60s, Baltimore on Sundays was all about going to church and then going to the ball game or listening on the radio.
The Blue Laws.
They had a Blue Laws 2 o'clock game, right? And a guy named, Wild Bill Heggie came a little later, but Len Burrier.
Yes.
Right? He was the big wheel, and he had a sidekick, Bud Craven, and he was the spoke. And they started doing this cheer, the Colts cheer, C-O-L-T-S, in 1975.
That's easier to spell than Ravens.
We all saw that, and we loved this. It was great. It rocked the house. Everybody. I'm not saying half the stadium, 3/4 stadium. I mean,
everybody.
The whole stadium.
The world's biggest insane asylum.
That's correct. The world's greatest, largest outdoor insane asylum. I forget who said that on TV.
Maybe Chuck Thompson or somebody. No,
it was another guy. I think it was a national guy.
Okay.
But Chuck Thompson did great broadcasts and so forth. Anyway, we grew up with that, and it was wonderful to go to the stadium and do that. And then in 1977, a guy named Wild Bill Heggie, he asked the big wheel, he said, I really like what you do with the Colts cheer in Memorial, and I would like to do that with the Orioles. Can you give me some tips? And he did, and then Wild Bill started his thing. So, yeah, the Colts, C-O-L-T-S, and the Orioles chants, it would rock Memorial Stadium. Everybody loved it.
And then here comes Real Fan Dan.
Well, first, Heartache. First, in 1983, of course, the base master of treachery and treason, took away our team in the middle of the night. And me and all my Colts buddies that would go every Sunday and do the Colts cheer together, we had to find something else to do.
For 12 years.
For 12 years. I couldn't root for the Redskins and couldn't root for the Steelers and nothing like that.
A lot of people did, though.
So, right, they did. That's right. And that's kind of why our fan base is kind of shrunk. But anyhow, all them years went by, and then finally the Ravens came to town. Now, can I tell you this? This is,
Go ahead, Dan.
This is deeply personal. So, I was working with the Maryland National Guard, and I was down south, and I was recently divorced. I was in Prince Frederick, and there ain't much going on in Prince Frederick.
Yeah.
And I was recently divorced, and there ain't much going on in Prince Frederick. And after 4 years of working hard down there at my unit, it was enough. I knew I needed a change. I needed love in my life. I needed a family.
What happened?
So, well, I was, I wasn't getting any. So,
I knew because you were divorced.
I needed life. I needed a new life. So I prayed God, and I asked him for somebody to love and somebody who would love me. And right about then, the Baltimore Ravens came.
Hey!
And me and my old Colts buddies start going to the games. And in '98, we asked to get seated together in the new stadium, right? You could do that. And they put us in section 532. And we found ourselves surrounded by 25 members of Ravens Roost 18 of Glen Burnie, right? We were all from north of town. We didn't even know what Ordnance Road was. We didn't know nothing about Pasadena, Glen Burnie, nothing. But these were great people, and they had been a Colts corral, and now they were a
Ravens Roost,
right? And I said, man, you guys remember the Colts cheer and the big wheel and all that? They're like, yeah. Well, do you think our fans would benefit if we restarted the tradition of chanting the letters of our team's name? Only, of course, Ravens.
So the third game in 1998, they did it.
This is 98, right? And so they were like, wow, let's put it to a vote. And they voted, and it was unanimous. And immediately, that was the third game of the 1998 season. And we've been doing that cheer every touchdown and every field goal ever since.
Let me jump in here. When did the Ravens decide, we got to put this guy on the big screen? He's taking his shirt off.
Right.
He's got his jersey. Yeah. When did they get involved?
Okay, so almost immediately, we wrote to them. We sent them petitions and everything. And they hooked me up with John Zeman, who was an old family friend. I knew him for years and
From
years.
the band.
That's correct. And my brother and him played together in the band. Anyway, he was a family friend, and they hooked me up with him. And the fact of the matter was is that they did not have any cameras in the upper deck. None at the time. And so they were more focused on really loud music and keeping the tempo up, and that's all good. But we would do it, and they would give us a break every once in a while, right? And it grew. And we trained up 3 sections using big letter placards, RAVENS, right? And we had 3 rows of seats, so we could do whatever we wanted. All the people in the roost would hold up each letter, R-A-V, as I spelled it out, and that way we trained up 3 sections, and they could figure out what the big, fat, half-naked, bald-headed white dude was trying to say.
You don't get naked until you have to.
So, every once in a while, they did try to do something in 2001 where they put RAVENS in big red letters on the big screen. And it caught on, and maybe half the stadium did it, and they did it for about half the season, and then it petered out. But we kept going, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're over near the West End Zone. And the West End Zone can see my glorious nakedness.
Hey!
Good. They could see it, and so they would join in.
Yeah.
So by we would have like 10,000 people doing it, like on the go-ahead touchdown.
Hey, I want Dave to tell the story because he was an advocate of yours before you even knew it, probably. Dave, tell that story.
So I'm in 539, which is over in between the goalposts down by you. and me and my crew would do cheers with you, before they put you up on the big screen. And so when they send us these surveys, end of the year surveys, or surveys after, like, remember they would do those conference calls with like the team, like off of like DaCosta or Bisciotti, whatever, and then they would send us a survey after. Every time I said, there's a guy up in the upper deck that spells out the Ravens after every touchdown. You got to get him on the big screen. And I kept emailing that like 4 or 5 times. So I hope that had a little help in getting you recognized up there.
It probably did. That was in 2013 when they first got the big screen up there.
Before you were up there, before you were on the screen, and I'm sure a lot of other people did. But everybody down that end of the stadium was a supporter and screaming out Ravens. So it's so awesome to see you up there now.
Thanks,
doing
Dave.
And
a lot of people told me that.
Yeah.
And that's great
You've
stuff.
got captain defense, you've got major offense, all these guys walking around.
guy.
And they are great guys. Somehow you've risen above and get everybody fired up. I'm just telling you how I look at it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's beautiful what you do. And also, when you came in here, people were crowding around and want to get a picture. Is that how it is out when you're out shopping at Walmart and stuff? Do you get that?
Yes, sir. One time, my wife and I were walking down 8th Avenue in New York City.
In New York
We were
City.
up there going to, catch a show, right? And people came up, and I'm walking not far from, what's it called, Columbus Circle? Yeah. And walking down there, and people come up and went, "You're a real fan, Dan!" And that happens a lot.
That's love.
Why are you
Love.
number 33?
Hey, listen. He said it. It's love.
It is love.
I prayed for love, right? And I got mixed up with this Ravens news. And then the president came up to me and said, Dan, 18 members of your new Ravens roost. He goes, I hear you're a Lutheran. You were raised a Lutheran. I said, yes, sir. Well, 18 members of your new Ravens roost goes to St. John Lutheran in Linthicum, right around the corner. Why don't you check it out? And I said, Lord, you need not hit me over the head with a shovel. That I told him, if you can make this happen for me, loving my life, I'll pay you back. He was telling me how to pay back.
Beautiful.
It's all about love. The grandkids came along. They had to, go to Sunday school. I started teaching Sunday school. They love going to church because they know that all the people there love them, right? More love. Now I cannot go anywhere without somebody coming up and going, I love you, man! All the time.
That's
so
awesome.
It really is about love. That was my main message in the day.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Hey, way to go, man.
Well, the reason that I was saying that you needed to get up there and get recognized is because we needed something to pull the whole stadium together.
That's correct.
Cheers
Some juice.
to get everybody together, at the same time and use our voices to make noise and be loud on third downs and just be a unified front against the other team. And I think you're a big part of that.
That's exactly when the Roost voted formally. And by the way, and then the next year, the Council of Ravens Roost adopted the chair. The whole gig was to unite the fans in support of our team while having fun in the stand.
But you
There
can't
go.
take a weekend off. You got to be there every game, real fan band. If they go up there and you're not doing it, it's like, what the hell's going on?
Maybe I could sub. Maybe I could
might be able to
sub,
fill it.
get some sunglasses. We got the
You got to get a
similar-
33.
We got, yes, 30.
I've taken off one game
That's it.
in
One.
2019, and that was the 100th anniversary of my church.
Okay.
I had to go to that.
I get that.
I'm a deacon, sorry. This love evolved to me studying for 3 years, and I become a deacon in the Lutheran churches. Not only that, this is weird, but it's true.
Yeah.
The very first month that I started studying to be a deacon is when the Ravens put the cheer on the big screen for the first time.
It comes full circle, everybody.
Full circle.
Beautiful.
Full circle, man.
They call Alabama the Crimson Tide.
But the best part of all of this, I asked God for somebody to love.
Yes.
Well, she was sitting 2 rows below me and 4 seats over. And after I'd been sitting with them in that stadium for 2 years, I joined their club, right? And at our first bull roast, big party, big event. At our first bull roast, she asked me to dance, and she became my wife.
Oh!
And that's where I got the 2 kids and the grandchildren, and started going to church, and became a deacon, and then finally got on the big screen. It's all about love. It is all.
Real fan Dan found love. We're gonna come back.
Well, let's talk about this season. Are we done, or we want to come back and
Yeah, we're at 13.
All right.
So we'll come back and talk about
take a quick break?
the draft, the 2025 season, and more. Thanks a lot, Real Fan Dan.
That's great.
What a great story. It is the Mothers Podcast. Is this the 5th one, 6th one? We're getting up there. 4th one. I was way off.
Yeah.
All
Close.
right.
Close.
Real Fan Dan just did a cheer out here and got everybody fired up. You had a question you want to ask him.
Yeah, Dan. So, what are the rules regarding getting naked?
People want to see you naked.
Good question. So the first year, I was trying to get everybody fired up, and it started off very, very slow. I mean, quite frankly, in 98, the Ravens stunk it up pretty bad.
Were they bad that year?
They were bad. So anyway, a gentleman came by, one of the guys in the stands, and he said, Dan, if you want them to get louder, take your shirt off. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Dude, are you kidding? Look at this. And he said, no, seriously, just try it. I guarantee you it'll get louder, right? So I did, right? Yeah. And man, the crowd went nuts. So I don't know what it was. It surely wasn't this physique, but it got real loud. So people wanted me to get naked, half naked all the time, take the shirt off.
You got to save it, though. You got to save it.
Just the top, right? But anyhow, I had to have some rules, right? Because if I kept pulling my shirt off,
can't do it all the time.
Right. You would soon get tired of it.
Right. Yeah.
And you would no longer be excited at the sight of my fully erect nipples.
So what are the rules?
Okay, so it's only on the go-ahead touchdown.
Oh!
Or when I best guess, so like we really stinking up the joint years ago. So an important touchdown in a comeback try, that kind of thing. You try to get a feel for it. And it seems like I got the feel for it, but it's when I think it's a go-ahead touchdown, I'm going to do it. And then if they do it again, or if it's trading off, touchdown, opposition scoring, we're scoring, like the Vikings game some years ago. My gosh!
Oh, was that the one in the snow and all?
7 score changes in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'll do it again. So I might do 3 in a game, but those are my rules, and I really try to stick by it because people really do ask me. So, like I say, go ahead touchdown, an important score in a comeback try, or really whatever the hell I want.
Rules of engagement. Let's ask Mom. What are your thoughts on the draft, where the Ravens stand now, the schedule? With the Buffalo Bills first on Sunday Night Football, the whole thing.
Well, I think the team's looking pretty good, other than our recent injury with Darius Washington. But we just signed a new nose tackle, and the draft picks are looking pretty good. I mean, we're ranked top 3 teams in the whole league. Yeah. So I feel like we got to be a favorite to go to the Super Bowl this year. I mean, just as much as anybody, I think we have a core team that can do it.
Do you share that enthusiasm, Real Fan Dan?
Yeah, I do. I don't, we might not get there. It is so hard to get there. But we'll be in the mix for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. For sure. And they'll be talking about it right up to the game or the game before,
It's all about the injuries. If we stay healthy, we have a great team.
I know.
How about Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry came to sign a new 2-year extension,
Unbelievable.
$25 million guaranteed, and he wanted to work out
before
he signed.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about this
6
guy.
a.m. 6 a.m.
Yeah, he wants to work out.
Amazing.
He wants a Super Bowl bad, and he sees us as his ticket to get that, to cap his career. And that's great, fellas. And that attracts talent from everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
And he loves being here. He loves the team. He loves the culture. And I think that's good to bring, free agents in and get people excited about being here.
Were you prepared for the release of number 9, Justin Tucker?
Yeah.
I listen.
When
There's no charges. I mean, there's speculation. Is it good? It's not good. But without charges, I thought the guy might have a chance. But they decided, and they let him go with some flowery talk saying, he's one of the greatest. He did so much for this team, blah, blah, blah. And some people thought that was a lot. So, first you, Dave, Justin Tucker.
You know, I love Tucker. He's been really cool to my family. He's been coming to Mother since he was a rookie. You know, my kids wear his jersey. He sent them videos. Super nice guy. I love him and I'm sad to see him go.
Yeah.
I think the combination of not having a good year football-wise and then
Allegations.
16 different, allegations, I think it's a little too many to just brush off.
Hips don't lie. Shakira.
I heard one point of view that it was a football move. Now, there's more behind it, but I think they saved a lot of cap space. Are you aware of how much?
Cap space.
I think it's a good bit of cap space. I'm not sure how much.
He was the highest paid kicker in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
We had some dead money, but we definitely, got some money back. We also made some money re-signing Henry. They structured him out and got some more money. So they're definitely making a move to put all the chips on the table for this year.
The guy provided such great memories, and we're going to miss him. I mean, we had the best kicker in the league for 10 years, man?
2012 he got there. He said he was hiding.
Man.
He was a free agent, and he said he was hiding right there at the University of Texas with so many students. I'm right here at this huge school. But that's how you get kickers.
Yeah.
You don't have to draft them, but we drafted Tyler Loop.
Now you do.
Enough.
Yeah. Now you do.
Sure
We
enough.
drafted a punter, too.
I think
Jordan Stout.
Probably Loop's availability also helped them make that decision.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well,
In round 6.
so, Dan, I didn't realize you had the Orioles thing going on, too.
Dude, I just ripped my shirt off.
I know, until you ripped the shirt off. All right, so Brandon Hyde. Hey! No wonder you had 2 hats on,
So
for
the
God's
last-
sake.
Robin and I, that's God's answer to my prayers, Robin. Robin and I finally could afford, a package with the Orioles.
Yes.
I was in the Army for 26 years. And
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Employed. And I couldn't commit that much time. And so I would go to a few games a year.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go up and try to do a cheer. Nobody knows.
At the
me.
Orioles, right.
At the Orioles game. You have to be there a lot of games. So, they did pretty good a couple of years ago. And I said to Robin, both of us are semi-retired.
Oh, yeah.
And I drive a school bus. So I get a Sunday package when I'm off. And then when I get out of school, I can buy all kind of Orioles tickets.
Yeah.
Right. So I said, you want to do this? And she was like, yeah. So we've really, even though out of 24 games last year and 4 this year, out of 28 games, we've only been to 9 wins. But
That's
all right.
That's tough.
But still, it's been fun. So, I started doing that. I got a picture in here someplace. I'll find it.
All right.
Here
Now-
we go.
Now, wait a
I
minute.
hooked up when I got there. I, of course, wanted to pay
That's
respect,
my guy.
Pay respect to the people who already have cheer traditions going.
That's Merrill
And
Heim.
I talked to Merrill Heim, the fired up guy. And isn't that a nice shot?
It's a beautiful shot.
yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to him.
Sure, there
Yeah.
you go. Oh, he has it.
Well, he's going to have it again. That's my
what
dog.
He does.
Love me some Merrill.
Dan, my daughter's a teacher at Old Mill. She said that you're a bus driver at Old Mill.
I am.
And I went to Old Mill,
Did you? Well,
class
that
of
high-
82.
That high school shut down.
Well, they should have shut it down. They had the wand people coming in there.
Yeah.
How about that new school at Papa John's or whatever?
What is that? Oh,
That was it.
I
Papa
tried for
John's
that.
was- that was a
That's
vegetable
correct.
stand.
Yeah.
It was. That's Severn Run High School. I drive for that too.
Yeah.
Old Mill was shut down, but there's Old Mill South and Old Mill North.
I went to Old Mill Middle School South.
There you go.
The coolest bus driver in all of Anne Arundel County.
The state, the whole state.
Oh, get out of here. There's a lot of great bus drivers out there. But
What-
anyhow, but I got the summer off, so
I was going to say, what does the rest of the summer hold for you, real fan Dan? Just chilling by the pool, having a Heineken?
We're going to Irv's.
Going to Herb's Basement Bar.
Herb's Basement Bar.
Last year it took the whole family, and we celebrated my first grandson and my granddaughter, and I went to Oklahoma where her sister was living with her dad, and took the whole family there,
Yeah.
and picked her up, and went to St. Louis and the Big Arch, and then went to visit family in Ohio, and went to Cedar Point amusement
I
park.
hear that is the
And
bomb.
then went out to that island in the middle of Lake Erie, where the big monument to the victory over the British in 1812 is. But it is a major party place.
It's a stream of consciousness coming from
It
Real
is.
Van Dan right now.
Yeah. And then came back home and then went to Gatlinburg on the return trip. So we're going to do something like that again when school's out. 2 days after school's out, we're going to Gatlinburg.
Nice. I got an announcement. We got a
Yes.
little breaking
Go ahead.
news. Breaking news. Ursay Jr. just died.
Jim Irsay?
I'm very sorry to hear
Jim Ursay just passed.
I'm very sorry.
Well, let's talk about that for a quick second. I mean, Jim Irsay did everything for the Colts when he was here.
He did.
Sold tickets, ran balls, and all that. Robert Irsay's son.
Yeah.
He worked for Accorsi, didn't he? Ernie Accorsi?
Ernie Accorsi, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he developed a little substance habit, had to go to rehab, but a very big collector of rock and roll memorabilia.
He is, yeah.
Yes.
I remember they had his father, Robert Irsay, hanging in effigy in one of the bars downtown. Keith Mills will tell you, it might have been Schaefer's Pub, but they had him on a toilet seat with a noose around his neck.
Yeah.
Robert Irsay, oh God,
Yeah.
that guy. Rest in whatever, but not peace.
Yeah.
So the guy that put Dead Bob in the bar in Canton, right, is none other than Bud Craven, who was the spoke for the big wheel.
Nice.
It comes full circle. And with that, thanks everybody for coming out tonight.
Thanks for being
Real
here.
Fan Dan is here. Give it up for Real
That-
Fan Dan.
The Ravens go O's!
We'll see you next time on the Mothers Podcast. Find us wherever you find your favorite podcast. Thanks again.
Thanks, everybody.
Good stuff. Thank you so much.